In this Matt's Picks video, I'm actually going to take some advice and see how successful I can be with my picks for today. So before I get into the video, I want to thank everyone who is watching, especially those who have subscribed and anyone considering hitting the like button. So actually in today's video, I'm going to do things a little bit differently because I'm just doing this whole thing differently. So instead of reviewing my picks from previous games at the top, I'm actually going to review those on the back end and jump right into my picks for today. So this is going to be based off at Grimy Minion's comment where he mentioned pretty much whittling down my picks, not having so many. So I did my best and I have 3 main picks that I really looked at. So this one I'll talk more about whenever we're getting closer to those days, but for our WNBA games today, August 19th, I went with a 3-pick power play for my first one, and this is kind of off the popular board. So Allisha Gray for 17 points, A'ja Wilson's PRA at 39, and then Alyssa Thomas AT at the 24 points and assists. Now I am aware of Golden State's, but AT's been able to really put some moves on folks, and I hope she can do that today and get those points, and she'll get about 8 or 9 assists. Now for my second pick, I went with a 5-pick flex play, and I went with Gabby Williams fantasy score at 28, Sabrina Ionescu at the 18 points, and I'm going to come back to that. Alyssa Thomas, aka AT, at the 33 PRA. Of course, Nneka, who's been incredible, at the 25 points and rebounds, and then Kiki Iriafen as well at the 24 points and rebounds. So this honestly looks really good to me. The only caveat would be Sabrina Ionescu, who in the past 3 matchups has played poorly 2 out of the 3 times, but I'm kind of betting that she will hit a stride in today's game, especially with the way Jonquel has been seeing the floor from that position and finding some open shots for the other players on New York. I think Sabrina and Jonquel, who you could easily replace this with Jonquel, and I would say probably see a similar result. So just keep that in mind with this one. I do have an extra pick where I do have this card, and I replaced her with Jonquel, so just something to note there. And then for my third kind of lofty pick, although not too lofty, I went with a 3-pick flex play, demon play here on everyone. So we've got a lot of really poor defenses going on in terms of Connecticut, Washington, and Chicago. So I went with Layla Lacan for the 12 points against Washington. I think she can probably get that, but if you want to play it safe, definitely probably 8 or 9 points for Layla Lacan, if not more. I went with Gabby Williams at the 15 points. I think she can definitely get that against Chicago. And then Kiki Iriafen, 16 points against Connecticut. I really think she can get that as well. Not worried about that at all. So that's just my really interesting play here. Some really poor defenses. So I think that looks good to me. And then for my 2 bonus plays, I went ahead and sort of doubled down on a lot of these points when it comes to the poor defenses. So I added Tina Charles, of course, at the 17 against Washington. And although Sanaya Rivers for Connecticut has been a really great defensive player, I think that these will be some easy buckets today. As long as they fall. Sometimes shots just don't fall for these players, unfortunately. And then lastly, again, just doubling down, went ahead and just added A'ja Wilson and Allisha Gray's points to this. The 24 for A'ja Wilson and then the 17 points for Allisha Gray to our previous one. So those are our picks for today. Let me go back and look at our picks from previous games. So I was really close to hitting a nice one here for the 7X. Unfortunately, Julie Alleman wasn't able to get the fantasy score that I thought she would. It really looks like Washington was able to take advantage of LA's travel, and they just weren't on their A game. But in hindsight, of course, I just wish I would have taken the demon plays on Paige, Kiki, and Dearica Hamby. So that was a okay win there. Same with this one. This was a pretty good win here on this 3-pick power play for a mix of what was supposed to be WNBA, but Sophie Cunningham did not play, but this was NFL preseason. And then I want to go over my picks from Friday. I really thought Sonia Citron was going to be able to get the 5 assists, but she was only able to get 3. And same with Sophie Cunningham. I really thought she was going to be able to get the 10 points there, but unfortunately it was not. And again, in hindsight, I wish I would have just taken Paige Beckers here instead of Sophie. And then Kiki Ariafin, of course, I wish I would have gone for the demon play and then not had Sonia on there. This one, not a bad pick. Jackie Young got that fantasy score, Kiki Ariafin, of course. And like I said, Paige Beckers almost went for the 30 points there, and she had that last shot in the final seconds of that game and just wasn't able to knock it down. But I'm feeling really good about our picks for today. So I'm trying this new strategy to see how it plays out. I had to add some money in our account, which we don't necessarily like to do, but we did it anyway. And again, this is not something I do to make money. This is just something I do to try to make sure I am getting a good read on the players when it comes to these matchups, because I'm just a big sports fan in general. So those are our picks for today. I'm really curious to know what you guys have for today. So feel free to drop that down in the comments. And then again, thank you to Grimy Minion for the suggestion. Also, I want to mention briefly that we are very, very close to that 100 subscriber mark, and it couldn't really come at a better time as WNBA is heating up, playoffs are soon, and we are about to step into regular season NFL. So really excited, and thank you for your support if you are one of those subscribers. That's all for today. Thank you for watching.